Okay, so you've probably heard the phrase Bitcoin is digital gold 1,000 times. It makes sense, right? But what about everything else? All that other crypto stuff out there? Well, we're about to build a super simple framework so you can finally make sense of it all. Let's dive in. This this is the question right here. It's the exact spot where most people's understanding of crypto just hits a brick wall. You can wrap your head around one digital currency, but then you see thousands of others, and the whole picture just shatters. This is the exact confusion we're going to clear up right now. And honestly, it's no wonder it's confusing. I mean, you're hearing about NFTs, DeFi, staking, dApps. It feels like this big jumble of jargon that's all connected, but nobody ever stops to explain how. The truth is, crypto has become this giant catch-all term for so many different things that it's almost useless without a better way of thinking about it. Yeah, just think about it for a second. When someone tells you they're into crypto, what does that even mean anymore? Are they a long-term investor in digital assets, a developer building apps on the blockchain, a trader who's glued to the charts 24/7, or are they just online having a laugh with some meme coins? It's the same word, but these are completely different worlds. And that's exactly why we need a clear mental model, starting with the single most important distinction of all. Here it is. This is the big one. If you can just get your head around the difference between a coin and a token, I promise you'll be ahead of 90% of the people out there. This one simple idea is the key that unlocks the entire crypto landscape. All right, first up, coins. A coin is the native currency of its very own blockchain. The easiest way to think about it is like the local currency of a digital country. So the Bitcoin blockchain has Bitcoin. The Ethereum blockchain has Ether. You absolutely need the coin to pay for things inside that digital world, like paying the fees to get a transaction through. Now, on the other side of the split, you've got tokens. A token is totally different because it doesn't have its own blockchain. Instead, it's built to run on top of an existing one, like Ethereum. So if the coin is the country's main currency, a token is more like a coupon or an arcade token, or even a stock certificate that only works inside that country. It represents something else entirely. And this metaphor just perfectly nails the difference. The coin is your phone's operating system. It's the iOS or Android that's the fundamental layer making everything else possible. A token? That's just an app you download. The app runs on the operating system to do something cool and specific, but it literally cannot exist without it. Coin is the OS, token is the app. That's the framework to keep in your head. So, okay, we've got coins and we've got tokens. Now let's talk about what they can actually do. Because pretty quickly after Bitcoin, crypto became about way more than just digital money. It became about programmable money, money that could follow rules all by itself. And this is the engine that powers pretty much everything you hear about in modern crypto, the smart contract. Don't let the name intimidate you. It's really just a little program that lives on the blockchain, and it's designed to automatically run when certain things happen. Seriously, think of it like a digital vending machine. If you put in $1, then a soda comes out. No cashier needed. That's a smart contract. And in principle, it's really that simple. Programmers write the rules. If Alice pays 1 Ether, then transfer ownership of this digital painting to her. The contract itself can hold on to the painting and the payment, and the second the conditions are met, boom, it executes the swap. All automatically, all transparently, with no middlemen getting in the way. Now, this all sounds pretty amazing, but it brings up a huge question. If there's no central company, no single server calling the shots, how in the world does a global network of thousands of computers all agree on what actually happened? How do they prevent total chaos? This right here is the billion-dollar, maybe trillion-dollar question for any decentralized system. And the solution is something called a consensus mechanism. It's basically a set of rules that economically forces everyone to play nice and to agree on a single version of the truth. What's really cool about this is how it simplifies a massive ongoing debate. On one side, you have proof of work, which is what Bitcoin uses. It secures the network using external resources. We're talking real-world electricity and powerful computer hardware. It's incredibly robust. Then you have proof of stake, which secures the network with internal resources. Validators have to lock up, or stake, the network's own coin as collateral to prove they have skin in the game. But here's the crucial thing to understand. Despite all the arguments, they both have the exact same goal. They are simply economic games designed to make it way, way more profitable for you to be honest and help secure the network than it would ever be to try and attack it. Honesty just becomes the most rational economic choice. So, running this giant, global, secure computer isn't free. When you want to use it, to send some money or interact with an app, you have to pay a little fee. On networks like Ethereum, this is usually called a gas fee. It's honestly just like paying for postage on a letter. You're paying for the network to process and deliver your transaction. And these fees aren't just made up for no reason. They exist for very specific, very important purposes. First, they pay the miners or validators who are spending resources to keep the network secure. Second, they prevent spammers from just flooding the system with junk transactions. And third, they manage the fact that there's only so much room for transactions in each new block of data. Okay, so we've covered coins, tokens, smart contracts, security, and fees. All of this leads us to the final and probably the most important question that everybody asks. Why is any of this stuff actually worth anything? Where on earth does the value come from? Well, a healthy crypto project gets its value from real, tangible demand. People might need the coin for its utility, to pay those gas fees on a network that tons of people are using. Or maybe it's used for security, where you can stake it to help protect the network and earn a reward. Sometimes it acts like a voting share, giving you governance rights. Other times it represents access to a specific service or community. And of course, some assets are valued simply because they are verifiably scarce, like our old friend, digital gold. But let's be real for a second. Value can also come from much less healthy places. A huge amount of the price action you see in crypto is driven by pure hype cycles on social media and raw speculation. People buying a token for no other reason than they hope someone else will buy it from them for a higher price later without any regard for what the token actually does. So, we're going to end this explainer not with a simple summary, but with a tool. A really powerful question that you can use to cut through the noise and analyze any crypto project you ever come across. Just ask yourself this: who actually needs this token? What do they need it for? And this is the most important part: why does this solution absolutely have to be a token on a blockchain? If you can't find a really clear and compelling answer to all three parts of that question, well, you've just learned everything you need to know.